See, like saying stuff like that is kind of like tricking to make Jews see like, oh, it's our Messiah. But it's actually the Messiah for the world that you're projecting, and you're telling Jews to feel like, oh, he's mine too.
So you don't see a Christian as anything to do with Judaism, as anything to do with the Jewish people?
No, what do you mean by a Christian? Someone who believes in Jesus?
Yeah.
That should not be involved with the Jewish people.
Not at all?
No.
It's a Christian YouTube channel where we promote Jewish faith in Jesus.
Well, I'm very much so against that.
Yeah, how come?
Because as a people, we're against idolatry.
Yes.
And believing in Christianity and trying to get Jews to Christianity is sort of spiritually destroying us.
How so?
And because you think he's God, of course, that's your opinion. He thinks he's the Messiah, and I don't see it as that. The Jewish people don't see it as that. So bring
a
us.
lot do actually.
Some, very small percentage. And of course, there's Jews who are against Israel as well. The fact that there's Jews that believe in that doesn't make it right or wrong.
Right.
But the majority of us throughout history have rejected to be converted to Christianity or to Islam. And I think that the Jews for Jesus movement is trying to make Christianity kosher for Jews and sucking them out of where they're from and bring them to Christianity.
Even though Jews for Jesus believes that Jesus is the Jewish Messiah, so it's a natural progression.
See, like saying stuff like that is kind of like tricking to make Jews see like, oh, it's our Messiah. But it's actually the Messiah for the world that you're projecting, and you're telling Jews to feel like, oh, he's mine too.
Yeah, but Jews are part of the world.
For sure. But you like specifically choose language to make Jews feel comfortable with a message that is very foreign to us and very destructive to us.
What do you mean by us?
Us as Jews. You're a
We're
Jew,
Jews, yeah.
Right? So I'm saying us. I'm considering you as my brother.
Yeah.
Even though we disagree on this thing.
I appreciate that.
We're still family. We're still brothers.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, no, that's what I want.
I'm gonna be
That's what
honest
I
with
want.
you.
That's what I want. Have you studied have you ever read the New Testament?
I've read several portions.
Okay.
I would bring all your viewers to Rav Tuvia Singer, which I think is the gadol on this topic, and he breaks down many things.
Even though he disagrees with a lot of the sages?
Which sages?
The sages, Ramban.
How does he disagree with the sages?
That he says that the Jewish people are the nation of that Isaiah prophesies, that the suffering servant is the people of Israel, and that the sages, our Jewish sages, actually mention that this is talking about Messiah.
I think Mashiach is a generation, not a person. I think it's the accomplishment of a generation, not a person that's going to come and save the day.
Really?
And definitely not Jesus, who passed away. Zichrono levacha, as a fellow Jew that died, but is not a Messiah.
Even though he rose from the grave.
That's what you believe. There's
true.
no proof of that. I respect your right to believe
But
that.
actually, I want to talk about one of the things you said, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, bro. I really appreciate it. And I love what you do out here. You said that Jewish believers in Jesus choose words to trick people.
Yes.
We're actually living out our faith.
Of course, you're living it out, but I'm saying that you guys cater your message to Jews to get them to connect to a Christian message that if it was just straight up, just follow Jesus, they would reject it.
So you don't see a Christian as anything to do with Judaism, as anything to do with the Jewish people?
No, what do you mean by a Christian? Someone who believes in Jesus? That should not be involved with the Jewish people.
Not at all?
No.
Even though Jesus was Jewish, his followers were Jewish?
Abraham's mission was to smash the idols, and you're bringing the idols into our house.
But how do you see it as idol worship?
Because if you believe that a man is a god or that a man is a Messiah that clearly wasn't, there's many things that the Mashiach would have to do that none of them Jesus did.
Oh, he did plenty.
Bring the tribes back, bring peace to the world.
Yes, but as you know these things, that God reveals himself. He progressively reveals himself over time. He doesn't drop the entire.
This is the Mashiach will do that. And
that's right, and he will do it.
Okay, that's your belief. But you could understand why me, who knows Jesus didn't do that at that time, and you would agree with me that he didn't do that at that time, how could you be seen as a Mashiach?
Because he did fulfill prophecy.
Which prophecy did he fulfill?
Well, he was supposed to be born in Bethlehem.
Okay, so there's many people born in different places. There's many people who
but this is one.
But none of them are like actual.
He was supposed to come before the destruction of the second temple.
Okay.
According to Daniel 9, verses 24 to 27.
Okay.
Tribe of Judah.
All of our tribe is the tribe of Judah. The fact that you're giving me that shows that there's actually no foundation and basis, in my opinion, respectfully, as a brother to brother. Right? So for me, I look at Christianity as a belief in idolatry. At least they're believing in one idol and not many idols. So it's already better than polytheism.
The world, like Jesus, has brought the recognition of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to the world. And through Abraham, you mentioned Abraham. God told Abraham that he would make him, through his seed, a great nation, and that he would be a blessing to the entire world.
Sure, I agree with that.
And that's what I believe, that our Jewish people were on this earth to make God known to creation, and that God actually has a plan for the Gentiles as well as the Jewish people.
That I'll agree, but I'll tell you this, right? Someone can say the same thing and trying to bring us to worship Satan. right? And say, well, we brought Satan, but also through Satan, we also brought all these other nice things. And so it's legitimate because they brought all those other nice things. So that argument to me doesn't hold water. For me, I believe that God is not one person, it's oneness. The infinite universe, time, space, everything is one Hashem. When we say Shema Yisrael Adonai Elonu Adonai Echad, we say God is one, not there is one God. So I believe in panentheism, right? And I think that Jesus was a leader of his time, whether it was good or bad, none of us were there. You believe it was good, I don't know, right? He could have been a great guy. He clearly was a rebel of some kind. He didn't like the status quo. He wanted to change things up, that's no doubt, right? He was a disturber of the Roman peace, which I support, right? Because the Romans were colonizing our civilization. But at the end of the day, he was killed. And once he passed away, we need to move on. And I think that a lot of the world took his life and turned him into a deity, which is why I see it as idolatry. And I think, in my opinion, even though I love you as my brother, I think it's extremely harmful to bring these ideas for which so many Jews were burned resisting. And now you're bringing it back to us.
No, that's not true, because you can't judge a faith by its abuse. And if you know the teachings of Jesus, you would realize that it would lead to the loving of the entire world. It would lead to forgiving your enemies.
Yeah, but healing them, not just forgiving them.
Absolutely.
You have to help them heal from the situation. So for sure, I look at those who adopted Christianity over time, mostly by force, and realize that I'm not going to go and hate them and fight them. I should show them that Hashem is one, and there's no intermediary thing in between us that should disconnect us from
But
Hashem.
the intermediary thing has been a Jewish thing since the beginning of time. Well, Moses was an intermediary. The high priest,
but no one was praying to
no,
Moses.
the people
they were not praying to Moses.
But the people at Mount Sinai were not telling Moses, "Yo, we got this. We don't need you." They were trembling in fear. You go up on our behalf.
There's no problem with having a leader. No one is saying it's not a leader. But when you pray to Hashem, there should be nothing disconnecting from Hashem. There should not be a Mary, a saint, a Joseph,
and I agree with you.
Or Jesus preventing us from getting. Now you agree with me because you see Jesus as God. Right. So for you that's God, but I disagree. So you'd understand why. For me,
totally,
it's
absolutely. But have you noticed in the Tanakh that occasionally you'll see a figure that appears in human form, talking with Abraham, Jacob, Gideon, Manoah, in a human form, eating with them, having his feet washed, walking from place to place, speaking as the first person as God, and doing things that only God can do. Jacob says, "I've seen God face to face, and my life has been delivered." They were expecting to die when they saw God.
You're assuming he saw Jesus.
I didn't say Jesus.
No,
I just said God,
a
physical manifestation of God.
Doesn't mean you need to see a physical thing. You can see in many ways. You can see someone's actions. You can see someone's spirit.
I'm just going by what the text says.
So you're translating it literally, and I think a lot of Christians, maybe not you because you're a Jew, they translate it through the English mistranslations, and they interpret things with different words that were used at different times. So I hope that you're using the Hebrew.
Yes, we study in Hebrew in Israel.
So I hope that you're using the actual original Hebrew and getting to the conclusions through the Hebrew and not through the others, because then of course you're already using
but I do agree though that you can have good translations, because otherwise God would be saying like a lot of Muslims will say, you can't come to God without knowing Arabic. You can't understand our faith. I don't either. I don't either.
But you can have a Tanakh that's properly translated from our Hebrew and from our sages, and not take it from Christians.
Yes, but you have Tanakh that's translated from Hebrew to Aramaic, from Greek to Hebrew.
It depends who's doing the translation. If the people who preserved the Torah, who kept on the scepter as Yehuda was supposed to keep the scepter, and not from the outside, then obviously from the outside it's going to be a little bit corrupt and most likely intentionally corrupted to fulfill agendas. So I think the translations need to come from our people, me and you. There are those translations that exist. And again, I respect your right to do what you want. I still see you my brother, but I hope that you will do a tikkun and ridding yourself of idolatry and come back to Hashem, because Hashem is one. It doesn't have to be other things as well.
Rudy, thanks, bro. Of course. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me and hearing my
and you should know it's
perspective.
all love. It's all love.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Love you, bro.
You too.
Thank you. All right.
今天很多人把现代犹太教和圣经里的犹太教划等号，但其实大多数人往往不知道，犹太教在2000年前耶稣时代的后期经历了大规模的改革。在耶稣那个年代，犹太教也并不是单一教派。圣经福音书里我们可以看到，犹太教分成了不同的派别，你比如说法利赛派系、撒都该派系，再比如爱赛尼派系等等。当时几乎所有的犹太教派别都要在圣殿里献祭，但公元70年圣殿被毁了，犹太教徒就没办法再献祭了。拒绝耶稣的犹太人被迫就要面对这个问题，各派系之间产生了争论。但非常遗憾的是，最终出现的新犹太教，也正是延续至今的拉比犹太教，实际上是法利赛派系的改革版本。 之后，这些犹太教徒发展出了新的教义，以圣经旧约和犹太拉比们的著作集合而成的塔木德就变成了犹太教实际上的第一圣典。圣经旧约，尤其是摩西五经，是犹太教的根本，被视为来自上帝的直接启示，而塔木德就是对圣经旧约的详细解释和延伸，同时还指导犹太教徒生活上的方方面面。这有点像古兰经是伊斯兰教的根基，而圣训就是解释古兰经并指导伊斯兰教徒生活与实践的圣典。博主今天做这期视频并不是反对犹太民族，相反，作为基督徒，我们应该遵守圣经教导，为以色列、为犹太民族祷告守望，并支持祝福他们。因为救恩出自以色列，我们也是嫁接在以色列上面的枝子。博主只是希望能把犹太民族属灵光景的各个角度都能呈现给大家，希望大家能有全面客观的了解，更希望他们早日认识那位真正的弥赛亚。我们今天要探讨的就是1955年前圣殿被毁之后最纯粹、最广泛的犹太教存在形式——拉比犹太教。该教派成立于大约1500年前，从历史上看，所有其他犹太教的分支都源于拉比犹太教。拉比犹太教的圣典就是圣经旧约和塔木德。塔木德是在公元500至550年之间完成的著作，比圣经新约被封为正典晚了大概100多年。但是塔木德对于犹太教而言，其地位实际上要比圣经旧约更重要。在现代犹太教里，如果两者看起来有冲突，一般会用塔木德的解释来决定该怎么做。不过说起耶稣基督，塔木德实际上并没有否定耶稣所行的神迹，而是声称耶稣是通过魔法来实行神迹的。更直白地说，塔木德声称耶稣是通过拜偶像的方式施展魔法，从而故意带偏一部分犹太人的。这与马太福音的记载一致，在9章34节，但法利赛人说他不过是靠鬼王赶鬼罢了。在12章24节也有记载，法利赛人听见了，说这个人赶鬼只不过是靠鬼王别西卜罢了。塔木德有些章节非常清楚地对耶稣做出了极其亵渎的陈述。由于博主是基督徒，没办法在此赘述那些亵渎的文字。总之，塔木德夸耀犹太人钉死耶稣是正确的决定，但这还不是全部。根据塔木德的说法，外邦人也就是非犹太人就像动物一样是不洁净的，他们还有个专有名词叫 goy 来称呼我们这些非犹太人的外邦人。这个词在某种意义上是带有轻视意味的，只不过有时候历史学家会选择性的忽略犹太教的极端教条。塔木德在犹太人眼里是神圣的经典，几乎可以盖过圣经旧约的地位。可是如果站在基督徒的立场，塔木德毫无疑问是反基督的。耶稣基督在世上的时候曾竭尽全力拯救犹太人，他在世的整个事工也都是为了犹太人，直到他们拒绝了耶稣的呼召，并最终将自己的弥赛亚钉死在了十字架上，这才彻底地注定了他们的结局。圣殿被毁，祭司制度被废掉，很多人甚至认为他们不再拥有旧约宗教的正统继承权了，这权柄已经在基督和教会中得以成全。在这儿，博主并不是说他们不能悔改，因为世人都犯了罪，亏缺了神的荣耀。毕竟最早的基督徒就是犹太民族，耶稣自己也是犹太人。不过别忘了，耶稣也曾对当时的法利赛人说过很重的话，耶稣称他们是毒蛇的种类，用鞭子把他们从圣殿里赶了出去，还说他们是亵渎者，并在启示录中2次称他们为撒旦的会堂。说到这儿，重点就是只有那些忠于上帝的人才属于上帝。现代的犹太人拒绝耶稣，那位真正的弥赛亚，正如约翰在他一封书信中所说的，他们处在敌基督的灵里。约翰一书2章22节说，谁是说谎的呢？不是那否认耶稣是基督的吗？那否认父与子的就是敌基督的。当然，现在没有得救的犹太教徒，并不意味着他就不是神的选民。神在圣经多次提到，他必保守看顾以色列直到永远。圣经旧约所有弥赛亚的预言都指向了耶稣，甚至犹太民族心目当中排名第1位的历史学家约瑟夫也曾说过，耶稣好像真是先知所传报启示的那位弥赛亚。博主相信，人们只要仔细看看预言的应验和历史，就会明白，这些绝不是人可以随意编造的。 尤其是当你意识到这些文字是由不同的作者在完全不同的地点跨越很长的时间维度写成的，就很难不相信耶稣就是那位弥赛亚。耶稣在4本福音书中以各种方式揭示自己就是弥赛亚，他甚至直接将自己通过亚威的希伯来语名字将自己显示出来。在圣经旧约里，上帝的名字是亚威，由4个希伯来语字母组成。然而每个字母如果按照上古希伯来语的象形解读方式解读的话，每个字母都代表着某种意义。亚威这4个字母的意思分别是看哪手，看哪钉子。博主整理这些并不是为了嘲笑犹太教，因为许多基督徒和世人可能对此并不了解。神没有种族偏见，他爱世人，他希望人人得救。上帝为他所拣选的子民如今的属灵境况感到悲痛，但他不会强迫任何人的意志。最后，希望我们一起为他们祈祷守望。这就是本期视频全部内容。如果你喜欢，希望你订阅、点赞、支持博主。咱们下期见。